Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Sorry, it's been a couple of weeks or so since I recorded a video. Shop has been a little slow as far as diagnosis. So, all right, a lot of work on repairs, but sometimes it's just the way it is. All right, so well, I have a 2008 sorry, I'm so used to BMWs. All right, so this is a Mercedes-Benz E320 Blue Tech. So it's a diesel car. And customer complaint, it has the check engine light on. So for this one, I had the Drive Pro ready to go. As you can see, somebody was here reading codes, uh, which is funny. I always get it like that. But well, either way, the car has 145, 146,000 miles pretty much. So I'm going to start the car, see what the temperature is. So it is in pretty much in normal temperature. Let me take the light off so you guys can see that. So I lost the window of cold engine, which depends on the codes. Is Sometimes it's just a waste of time to start with a warm up engine, but we don't know that yet. So let's ID the vehicle, and I'm going to do a full scan. So everything is going well. I wanted to start with you guys here so you can see how slow, how quick is Drive Pro, which for me is a very, very fast tool. I like it. It does have some bugs here and there. I don't think it's any perfect tool. I have, experience that don't connect snap on a Mercedes. Lately, it has given me so much issues. I went to just to reset an oil light and screw all the dates. They put like a 255 percent on the brake pads and in the brake fluid. It took me like 2 hours to correct it. Should have recorded that. So for what we have, I'm going to do a quick test. Uh, we can do either one for technical and software assistant. Well, let's do the vehicle scan like that. I can, in case I need, request help from AutoLogic, which obviously, it's always a great tool to have. I don't make many requests, but when I need, I do. So, and they're great. They're great. Oh, guys. Okay, guys. So let me stop the video 1 second. Let the scanner do the full scan. Well, before we do that, because you know, this is a new car for me. Show you that as far as I can hear. I know this microphone takes a lot of the sound away, or all the sound, which is great. That's what I like itself. But yeah, the engine is running smooth. I don't feel any missing. It didn't blow any smoke at the time to start. Um, I have no history of maintenance, so I'm starting from scratch with this car, and I'm going to get you guys back in the video as soon as I know what codes we got. All right, guys, I got the full scan done. It took like around 5 minutes, and it's a little slow, but it's because it's doing all the modules. So what I like to use these tools is because they give you a better description that sometimes a regular scanner does, and this is very very close to the OEM. So my concern is obviously the common rail diesel injection, which in this case we have a rail pressure sensor, a glow timeout, and a rail pressure monitoring via volume control valve. Oof. Okay, that is a problem. So pretty much what this is telling me is that we have uh, well, a pressure issue, either a reading or bad sensors. Knowing these systems, those are buried. It's gonna be a little hard to reach them. So let me see what kind of bits I can get on the scanner and see if I can uncover some of that engine filters and so on to see what I can reach. Hi guys, I removed the engine cover, and the first thing that I notice is hopefully the camera picks that up, but we got fuel on top of the fuel filter, which that shouldn't not be there. So we're losing pressure, or we get an air in the system because of that. I'm also concerned on all this oil on this MAF sensor on this side, which again, I have no history of maintenance at all on this car. I'm going to request that. I'm not sure if he is a customer of us or not. First time I'm working on this car myself, so always good to have a visual inspection before you condemn anything. The problem we have with those codes, let me read it to you again. So so as you can see, we have real pressure sensor offset value is above the limit, but then also it says real pressure monitoring via volume control valve. It says the real pressure is too low. So yeah, it is probably bleeding out because of but uh, connections on the filter broken. Something is not right in there. And the other thing that we have in there is either a glow plug module bad or a shorted uh, glow plug. I'm gonna have to check those, and again, in order to reach those, they're under the same common intake that I don't like to touch too much before I get an okay with the customer and everything, because these boot usually breaks. All these rubbers they're gonna have to replace. I mean, I am very comfortable working on these cars. These engines are easy to repair for me. So we'll see. Now what we can do, I'm going to request replace that filter, check the connections in there, because with that leak, I cannot do any real tests. I cannot take anything as okay, even though the car is running good. Uh, that is no good. All right, so guys, let me get an approval and we go from there. All right, guys, just to save time, well, I have to switch gears because in AutoLogic I couldn't read the glow plug module. So I'm trying to see if Sentry gives me that option. So I have to again do a quick test on it. I have the Mercedes-Benz diagnostic software running. I got the car running. I usually do that because otherwise you need to connect the battery maintainer in the meantime, which I don't want to do. Not for reading the codes. I already know what the codes are, but I like to see if I can reach those tests, because at least that's a nice thing with Sentry. It will give me a full list of control units and results of faults, and then you can do tests based on that. So let me run these and I'll be right back. Sorry guys that I'm doing a double um, code readout. Well, that was actually really quick, so I don't have to go back. So let me just see what we find. Common rails, so we know that we have problems in here. So hopefully you guys can see what I'm seeing. So we can go now that we read there. I could have do this just on there as well. So we got the same codes that we read with AutoLogic. We can click on that some glass or whatever component glow flow text is defective. All right, so end of test. So I cannot do anything. Low timeout stage is defective. When you must include the breakdown, blah blah blah. So all right, so I cannot blame or complain on AutoLogic. It looks like I cannot be done. And I don't want to do a pressure test yet. Actual actions, actual values. Let me see what we can see here. Point correction. I'm just looking at see what we can read from here. And it's pretty much the same that I saw on AutoLogic. Full list of full codes, complete list of guided tests. Yeah. Hmm. Let's see what we got here. I think it's B14.3. At least that's the module, I think, for the globe plug. Let's go back to code list. Yeah, it's N14.3. That is the globe plug module. So that's how you look for on the wire diagrams as well. So do we have anything for the N14.3? I doubt it since it didn't give me anything on the full code itself. Well, actually, that's it we have here. Let's see. In the following check, a self-test of the pre-glow system is performed. The engine control unit is checked for current fault entries regarding the pre-glow system. All right, so I need to turn the engine off. Good, I gotta run it. All right, ignition is on. And I don't want to erase the codes, but if I have to, I will. Because sometimes it doesn't run the test because you got codes in there, but we'll see. F5 will start the test, not the car. And I'm doing this live with you guys. So we'll see. The pre-glow system is okay. Really? Okay. Um, okay, so what we got to code then? I'm gonna have to actually check the activation of that on the glow plugs itself. So what you can do in there is disconnect one and then just put a test light. So let me do that and I'll be right back. Okay, guys. So I disconnected one of the glow plugs. I had the test light rigged into, a ground, and then the 4 millimeter banana adapter actually fits really nice into the connector of the glow plug. The best way for you guys to disconnect that is get this pliers. That's I got it from Masha Marker. It's specific for that, so you don't rip the connector or anything. All right, so I have the ignition on. Yes, I do. So let's run this test again and see if it activates the glow plugs. So I'm going to click F5. I haven't seen any activation of the glow plugs. So at least one of the fault codes. See, this is weird. All right, just before it says that everything was okay, and now it says at least one of the fault codes related to the glow plug pre-glow system is currently present. Read and process fault memory of component N3. Further procedure. Read and process fault memory. Let's see what this test is going to do now, which C is like weird because I know that's why the light is on. So let's erase this code. You really want to erase the full memory? Yes, I do. Strict ignition off. I just want also to see if, uh, and now it says erasing the field memory, I mean the fault memory. All right, ignition back on. Nothing on the glow plugs, at least no activation. As far as the Tesla goes, we're gonna go for this test again because it kicked me out of here. Ignition is on. I'm gonna start it again. And I'm going to focus you guys on the test light. And I don't see any activation. At least one of the fault codes related to the pre-glow is there. So 1 second. All right, so we get no activations. I erase the code and reset it again, and it resets every time. I mean, I'm trying to see if there's any activations itself of the glow plugs and didn't. And it's funny because it passed the test one time, but I mean, so my next step is check, powers and grounds on that module. For those who doesn't know where that is located, let me show you a better look. So that is pretty much attached onto one of the pipes that goes down on the intake. I'll show you in the car in a second, but or you'll see in the car. It's the best. As far as wire diagrams, let me see if I can get a diagram. Because I mean, I will be looking for a major wire for power and then a major ground, right? Component description, low flow function. I don't think I'm gonna be able to look in here for that. So let me get out again and diagrams. If I go to the OEM, you guys will be very confused because it is a little hard to find, but I don't see it here either. So maybe in powertrain. Let me zoom a little bit. I'm just trying to see or show you guys the wiring upstream. Not sure if that's even here. So let me look for, those are the MAF sensors. All right, we got the glow plugs in here. As you can see, they're just very basic. I mean, power and ground, that's it, right? So let's see where we go with those. All right, so it is here. So let me see. This most likely is one of the activations, right? We just selected it. Yeah. So we got 6 of those. I don't know if I mentioned that this is a V6 engine. So as the let me see the engine. Uh, we we do that later. So we got a brown, which is obviously a ground, and then this major red is our power. So let's see if we at least got those. Otherwise, I mean, it might be a blown fuse. So let me set you guys up into the tripod and we go from. Let me show you a little bit of what I would be doing. Hopefully it doesn't look so weird. All right, so I'm just gaining access to the connector. Oops. Not sure if I will be able to. That's one more here. That bolt is an E10. the 3-1. Yep. This is tied in. We got an O-ring in there. Yes, the seal. So be careful not to drop that. Actually, it's better to put it on the hose. I mean, on the plastic thing. Sometimes it's a little hard to think and record and work all at the same time. So bear with me. I have noticed that some people don't understand that. I'm not pre-recording. I'm not an actor. I'm working. Plus, I'm not a professional. Um, I don't know, movie star or something, right? Some people complain for that. So please bear with me. Hmm. Is that so? Have to double check the connections. All right, guys, let me get you a little closer so you can see what I'm about to do. I mean, it's not really so hard. It's just wiring testing. I print out the diagram just to make sure that I was reading correct. So we got two connectors. So this main one is this battery positive, and it goes to like the charging system probably. It's just a straight from the alternator, most likely, right? But either way, so let me look for the ground. I'm going to use this here first to check on that red and green, which it is I think it's an ignition. So let me turn the ignition on. And I doubt that is gone because, yeah, it is in, it's on, as you can see, because that ignition feeds a whole bunch of other sensors. I need to get another needle to check that ground. Sorry, I got interrupted by a call. So what I usually do, now that I know that I got a good power source, at least on the ignition side, is I use that to check my ground, right, which is next to this ignition source. So always be careful when you're poking wires. Well, I'm actually not poking. I'm going on the weather pack behind next to the installation. So I'm gonna put the ignition, and that means, as you can see, we have a very nice bright light. So that is fine. And I just took the ignition off, and that's still on. Hmm. Oh, it just went off. That's just the way the system work as far as the ignition. So we know that is good. Now will be to check this heavy wire. We can remove these two, and we're gonna have to just to gain access. So bear with me again. Some people like to see the whole process. Some don't. I'm sorry. I just do it this way. The plastic is pretty easy to remove. At least all the little bolts are the same, E10, so no need to be grabbing more. Um, well, actually, I don't need to remove. It has just a groove or a pin onto a connector on the bottom. So this is connector 2 or connector 1, sorry. And as you can see, we got power here. So we got everything that this module needs to at least work. So that's it, right? 1 second, guys. All right, guys, that was my manager here. So we do have ignition, and we got a power and a ground, and we should just have only that. So it looks like, as far as I can read and see here, that we do have a bed module. Let me check just what that white blue, which is coming from the, I don't have that part of the wire diagram, so I gotta see what pin 12 does. I'll be right back. All right, looks like the white blue is a link communication wire trying to get the scanner away from the sun so you guys can see the scope. Just to see if we have, communication to that, which I know we do because it's reading, at least there is effective. All right, so I just tried to use the scope and it kicked me out. Well, this time it worked. So lab scope, volts, DC, that's what we need to check. I already got, the negative on the ground and the other wire. I'm using just one channel. So this is the SUS, so we can change, turn off channel 3 was on, and that's volt DC, not 100 volts. Let's go back to 10 volts and see what we can see. As far as timing, 10 milliseconds. Yeah, I like that. All right, so hopefully you guys can see good. Yeah, not too much glare. See if we see anything in there. There should be some sort of communication. And it is, as you guys can see. So it is a little offset. So let me change the values, but we do have communication. So let's put it on 20. And it looks good. It's not reaching 0, which I'm not sure if that's the way they should or not go, but it doesn't call any bad communication. I would call that good. It's nice and clean. So we got a bed module. Now the next thing that I would recommend is replacing the spark plugs in the module. That's it. If you guys want to know what the values are for spark plugs, it's better if you check it with the engine call. It can reach from zero point 0.2 ohms to 1.7. So, and that all depends on temperature. So, um, what I usually do is I remove, turn it on with like, on the battery and check the resistance, cold and warm. But yeah, that's all we need. We can call this a bed module. It's no activations, nothing, right? So that's it. All right, guys, just to give a close on the video, this is pretty much what you need to do when you're checking all the modules or any module. Make sure that you have powers and grounds, and then you have communication. This one is, or it was a very clean communication. It's just a lean network, so it's a very basic one-wire communication. Um, that's it. As far as the Glow Plus itself, either way that we have shorter glow plugs. I do have 3. I didn't check that in there because it's not really necessary. It's just that's a simple check. All you need to do is disconnect each. I haven't removed the ones under that intake too because of obvious reason. I'm not sure still if the customer will proceed with everything. No, I don't want to damage, connections that I might need to put back and then the car goes away, right? So, but either way, so this is for now. Another Uh, Short thing that I want to say. I am going to Super Saturday in Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh. That is the 12th, or, sorry, 13, Saturday the 13th. So I hope you guys to see you there. I know the kid, Paul Danner, PJ, Cody, Kuba, Corey, Flatbread Master, Mario is going. I mean, sorry if I miss a whole bunch of names. I know Eric O is going. I'm not sure if Ivan is going, but most likely he will be there. So we we're going to have a small booth to give, some of our stickers to whoever shows up in there and wants some of our stuff. So hope to see you there and see you next time. Bye bye.